on Big Monday.
Yeah, what a night it is. The teams at the top of the standings. North Carolina is the only team to beat Louisville so far in conference play this year. And we are underway. NC State with the black jerseys trimmed in pink. And Aziaha James right away took it to Sydney Taylor and got fouled. Now our USPS ground advantage need to know. Louisville, as we talked about, in very first place. There's the NC State, one of a couple of teams with 2 losses. And they both have a lot of ranked teams on their schedules because the ACC this year, Deb Antonelli, is ridiculously good and fun.
I mean, let's go ahead and start it off like this. Charlie Cream has 9 teams from this league seeded. Not on the bubble, not last 4 in, first 4 out. I mean, they're seeded. NC State was picked to finish 8th in this league. They're in 2nd place and number 3 in the country. Louisville was picked to finish 4th. They sit in 1st place. They're number 15. That sets up for a big-time game.
And a lot of new faces in this Louisville starting 5. They have 8 newcomers in all. Olivia Cochran is the veteran that has been there all 4 years. Went over 1,000 points this season. And Louisville starts things off. There's Liv by throwing the basketball away, and certainly controlling turnovers is something that is important to Jeff Walls, the head coach at Louisville, now in his 17th year.
Well, Louisville will bring multiple defensive looks, and there's a turnover right away. Back-to-back turnovers for both teams.
Cochran got away with a high dribble that has made the folks here at Reynolds a little bit grumpy.
You're going to have to read what the defense looks like, and NC State's going to have to move the ball. You can't get the ball get stuck.
And Nyla Harris, a little bit too physical with River Baldwin, picks up the personal fouls. Jeff Walls has done a tremendous job with this Louisville team as he's taken them to a couple of finals and just seems to be in the Elite 8 every single year. A lot of new faces this year. He says they're finally starting to kind of come together because it certainly takes a while.
I mean, 5 straight Elite 8s. He's been to 4 Final Fours. And Aziaha James on the backdoor look, which NC State spent a lot of time on at shoot-around.
Aziaha James, certainly a special player now with all 3 of NC State's points. She is our leading scorer, averaging over 15 points a game. Shot by Jefferson. Kiki, who is a transfer after playing her first 4 years at James Madison University. Leading them in scoring at just over 13 points per game.
NC State worked on backdoor, knowing Louisville is up the line and they overplay. This is a great look and a tremendous finish by Aziaha James, the lefty. When she gets off to a good start, that's a good sign for NC State.
And there's James, worked the baseline to perfection and then had to do it the hard way by going up with the follow.
In the last possession, Louisville went dribble drive into a late ball screen on the top of the floor. Now they're running their Princeton action, their chin action. There's a lot of different ways that Louisville can beat you offensively.
That was the biggest concern for Coach Wes Morris. Cochran sends one up from the outside. That was a long 2.
That's a big matchup to keep your eye on. Big O, Olivia Cochran, is going to give River Baldwin all she can handle on the interior.
Mimi Collins misses from the top of the circle. Now the spin move, the finish, and the foul. Harris gets it. She's coming off a career-high 18 points and a big win against Syracuse.
And a career-high 14 rebounds as well. She's really starting to pick up her game. I mean, she's a player that in her 2nd year at Louisville, her minutes have gone up, her production has gotten better. And when you look at Louisville, they don't have a dominant low-post 6'5" presence like NC State, but they have interchangeable parts and great ball pressure on the perimeter.
Harris started the last 8 games last year, and now in the starting lineup this season. Rivers with the miss. Cochran looked like she might have gotten hit in the face, and that left a wide-open lane for James, who is off to a blazing start. No, the turnover. Rivers might be the fastest person in the building, and she draws yet another foul. good veteran crew here tonight. Dee Kantner, Joe Vasili, and Denise Brooks.
Sanaya Rivers might be the Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC. She has been fantastic on the top of the floor. She's long and athletic. She has great anticipation.
Foul by Harris. That is the second for her. Thursday night at 6 Eastern on ESPN. More women's basketball in the ACC, as you will see this Louisville team at home against Notre Dame. That's Thursday, 6 Eastern on ESPN and the app. And Thursday night here, a pretty good one. Virginia Tech coming into town.
There won't be any Hokies in the building, though, because NC State doesn't have any seats for the Hokies to show up.
We saw a lot of Hokies in Carmichael yesterday.
About 35% is what I was told.
Every ticket has been spoken for the rest of the season here at Reynolds. The secondary ticket market is on fire for people trying to get into the games. James got cut off, lost the ball, but River Baldwin was able to bring it home.
Aziaha James is active, and she's ready to play. She has been fantastic early on. Sydney Taylor, if she gets hot, she's one of the best three-point shooters last year in the A-10 at UMass.
First team All-Atlantic 10 last year playing for UMass. This is her first year in Louisville. James kicking it out. Good look for Madison Hayes.
If Louisville's going to switch, NC State's got to punish those switches. They've got to take advantage of matchups they can win off the bounce. They've got to understand space.
Cochran has hit a couple from out there, thought about it.
Got so much better at her face-up game.
Jefferson over Hayes, good defense. And Rivers gets the ball and goes. This is the first shot that Louisville has missed. Collins can't get it to go from the baseline. Now Taylor spots up for three. Cochran, as she's done throughout her career, able to muscle in to get the rebound, leads the team in that category this year. Good pace in the first 5 minutes.
No whistles.
No whistles. James. Aziaha James already into double figures.
That was fast.
Now Jefferson tries to kiss it off glass and does. That's her second basket.
Last year's Sun Belt Player of the Year, a transfer from JMU. You know, Louisville's got 5 players on the floor that have scored over 1,000 points in their career.
A lot of experience, most of them at other schools. What a fast start.
James, don't come with a long closeout. She's on fire, and then Jefferson on the other end, high off the glass.
There's for Louisville, displaying who they are playing for here in this Play for K game at NC State. The last player you saw was Aaliyah Love, also known as Lily, who used to be at Georgia Tech, and she held up a card for Tasha Butts, who was an assistant coach there for Mel Fortner, and unfortunately we lost her last October at the age of 41.
We also want to recognize Kiana Jefferson, Kiki's mom, who is battling cancer right now, and sending a shout out to inspire her as well. I also saw Claire Drosch, a great player at Boston College, who we lost too early.
NC State with Sanaya Rivers trying to get it coast to coast. This has been a great pace so far in this game. Rebound taken down by Zoe Brooks, the freshman, one of the highest rated, in fact, the highest ranked recruit NC State has ever gotten. She is out of the state of New Jersey.
There's a couple of McDonald's All-Americans on the floor for NC State. Madison Hayes is one, and Aziaha James. My goodness, shoot till your arm falls off. James
James now with 13 points. And tied up the ball game. Jefferson couldn't get it to roll in, so the ball stays, however, with the Cards.
So impressive the way Aziaha James is hunting her shot, playing off the Mimi Collins screen, and they're going under. Jeff Walls and his defense going under to try to prevent James from turning the corner, and she steps back to hit the triple. She's made the most for NC State this year coming into the game.
Turnaround shot is missed. Westmore in his 11th season at NC State, three-time ACC Coach of the Year. And he and Jeff Walls have a good relationship, so they talk fairly often, and Coach Moore says he appreciates the candor. I guess that's one thing about Jeff Walls, he's very candid, I would say.
Well, I think from both of them, you're going to get exactly what they're thinking. Right? I love to see mutual respect across the aisle, if you will. That's what exactly we get from these two coaches that have had tremendous success with their programs.
Lily Collins at the free throw line after getting fouled by Istin Bulolu, the freshman from Turkey. Great hustle. Aziaha James has like been shot out of the cannon here tonight.
Everywhere. She's really energized to play in this matchup. Sometimes this pink hits players differently, right? And of course, NC State players are well aware of the legacy of Kay Yao. Good double by Collins.
Great defense. And Collins is fired up, getting the tie-up.
The isolation play off the elbow. Collins brings the double. And Jefferson tries to split it. Good job walling up by NC State.
Possession arrow kept it with Louisville. Taylor, back rim, batted out. And picked up by Jada Curry, another transfer. Played a couple of years at Cal, where she was a two-time All-Pac-12 performer. She's been coming off the bench now for Jeff Walls to give him some more offense. Curry able to gather, turns, and has it rim out.
NC State essentially with 4 guards on the floor, playing a little bit smaller with Mimi Collins at the 5.
Collins with the miss again.
Louisville doesn't need the outlet. They can quickly get the ball advanced up the floor. I don't think that's a shot Jeff Walls wants.
Taylor with the long three.
Yeah, it's one pass. It's a quick 3. Even though Taylor has hit one, Jeff Walls told us today they are much better when they make multiple passes and reverse sides of the floor.
And that's something that they keep an eye on. They chart all of that, and the success goes up the more they move the ball. Rivers brings it up. 2 minutes inside here in the first quarter. Vocal crowd. James. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, come on. Really? Are you serious?
She has as many points individually as Louisville has as a team right now.
I mean, Westmore just keep running plays for her. Get the ball in her hands.
Jefferson, meanwhile.
And Jeff Walls goes, let her wear herself out, man. It's a 2-point game.
Jefferson now with 6 for Louisville. They trim it down to 2. Brooks gets her own miss. Good look, good result for Madison Hayes.
That's a lot of points both teams have given up so far in the first quarter, and I love it. I mean, I expected this to be a slow down, grind it out. This has been a much faster paced, much more offensive-minded game because players are making shots. Madison Hayes from beyond the arc.
Hayes making the second most threes behind James this season. Jefferson got Rivers up in the air, challenged her, and got hacked.
And Sanaya Rivers knows she's got to have better defensive discipline there, and she just couldn't resist going for it. Look at the pump fake, creates a little bit of separation. You get the defense just to lean. Smart take by Jefferson off the bounce.
That is 2 fouls now on Sanaya Rivers, who is a crucial component for this club. Leading them in assists, steals, minutes. Kiki Jefferson goes to the free throw line, the best free throw shooter in the league, averaging over 4 attempts per game. Sunday at 2 Eastern, we'll have the women's basketball matchup of the day. How about undefeated South Carolina hosting Paige Beckers and number 11, UConn. Catch that on ESPN in the app. And the big news for South Carolina, Camila Cardoso will miss that game. She's going to not play the next 2 games for South Carolina because of commitments to the Brazilian national team.
She's trying to make the national team. Kudos to Dawn Staley for letting her go, but honestly, I think all coaches across the country do that with their players. You really can't keep them if they need to go and try out.
Lacey Steele, a true freshman from Oklahoma. NC State lighting up the scoreboard, and boy, Louisville is answering pretty much every call on the other end. It's Cochran again.
NC State has been on fire outside the three-point line. And Olivia Cochran, Big O, with that big personality around the rim, has really added to her game in her 4th year. Her ability to step away, knock down face-up jump shots, it's made her more dangerous offensively.
Melissa Russell with the basketball in her hands. Get it back out to Jada Curry. 10 seconds to shoot in the waning seconds of the first quarter. Lily Love can't get it. Cochran rescues. Curry needs to shoot. And it goes out of bounds. And it has been called initially Louisville ball, but Joe Vasili went over. Great teamwork there by this officiating crew. Joe Vasili went over to Denise Brooks, said he had a better look, and it is indeed Louisville ball.
I mean, you mentioned the crew that we have. Dee Cantner, Joe Vasili, both members of the KL Cancer Fund Board of Directors. Denise Brooks is a cancer survivor, and they're always on this game.
Holy, what a move by Brooks! NC State on the big game to play for game with their biggest lead of the game as they have a big lead. Cancer research, you can donate at KL.com.
It doesn't matter what you give. As we look at Kevin Keats, the basketball coach, who's won a couple of games in a row. He's here supporting the KL Cancer Fund. The Play for K games are going on all around the country, and you can go to KL.com and you can make a donation, and you will impact someone's life. And you could help some underserved people that don't understand that education is so important. You can help with early detection. There's so many ways you can help the KL Cancer Fund by donating.
And Ward, along with Deb Antonelli, who played here at NC State for KL, was the head coach for 34 years, the last 20 years fighting cancer, finally succumbing. It's unbelievable. It's been 15 years since she passed away.
It's hard to believe that 737 wins in her career, Pam. Gold medal for the Olympic team, a Final Four, as you heard Kristen Gillespie talk about in that vignette. Yet all she wants for 738 is to beat cancer. If somebody can help her win 738, that's the number right there.
NC State off to a great start, fueled mostly by Aziaha James, and Olivia Cochran's got 10 for Louisville.
Yeah, that's the matchup that we spoke of early, that River Baldwin was going to have her hands full with the quickness and the face-up game.
Brooks using her quickness to go to the glass.
NC State is getting threes or getting to the rim. Louisville, in a one-possession game, hasn't taken either one of those away, but they've been scoring on the other end.
And James comes away with it. Put up by Cochran, but Baldwin, that is a picture-perfect pass. James doing everything.
NC State off the bounce. Forces Jeff Walls into a timeout. High off the glass by the freshman.
Remember Nikki McRae, she's on the Olympic team, played for Pat Summitt at Tennessee, so many years in the WNBA. We lost her last July to breast cancer.
Nikki McRae and Tasha Butt's gone too long, too quickly. It's really sad, really. And we're here to celebrate survivors today at halftime, which is typically very uplifting, which is exactly what Coach Al would have wanted. That was her vision.
Right. Make something positive out of something so negative. Jefferson with the miss, and Hayes, good box out, able to bring it up the court. Big team shooting well. NC State shooting 55% for the game. Oh my goodness, Zoe Brooks went through a little bit of a spell where she was, not shooting so well. I think that spell has been broken.
That's the first mid-range jumper that NC State has hit in the first half. Most of their shots are threes and layups or free throws.
Cochran with the miss.
NC State has done a good job moving without the ball, Pam.
That is well off the mark. Shot by the freshman Steele.
Little two-man game with Olivia Cochran.
Oh boy, Baldwin just stopped Kiki Jefferson in her tracks.
Olivia Baldwin moving her feet, but the up and under by Cochran. And Louisville has not been on the offensive glass. They have a couple of offensive rebounds. And they need some extra possessions.
And Hayes able to get yet another rebound, but boy, Zoe Brooks 10 points in their win against North Carolina. That was on Thursday, and how about that pass, Brooks to Baldwin?
Just really good action on the weak side. And one of the things that Wes Moore told us is he wants to get River Baldwin moving around block to block, elbow to elbow, and not just sit her on the low block. Let her move. She's better when she catches that way.
Baldwin coming back from an ankle injury that forced her to miss 3 games. They lost 2 of them, and Coach Moore says River is still getting back to form. Perfect form from Maddie Hayes. Jeff Walls has called a timeout. NC State has hit 6 of its 11 threes.
Absolutely on fire. In transition, they're finding numbers and making shots. Watch the screen by Steele.
Welcome back. NC State is just shooting the lights out here. An 11-0 run. Jeff Walls calls a timeout with his team now down 15.
He had to call 2 timeouts during this NC State run. They've tried multiple defenses. They've switched up some ball screen coverage. NC State's played at a high pace. They've been able to score in transition. They've made some good decisions. They turned the ball over the first possession. Other than that, they haven't turned it over.
Jefferson, they get it inside. Well, it's a 3-second violation. Nyla Harris was hanging out there a long time waiting for the ball.
That's 2 timeouts and 2 ATOs where Louisville doesn't score.
NC State outscoring Louisville 11-2 in this quarter, including 11 straight. Brooks draws contact, no foul.
Louisville with numbers.
Free ball not falling on the other end. They've only hit 1 of their 7 from distance, the Cardinals.
And when you got numbers like that, you got to attack. You had an advantage. See, Louisville's got to stay connected right here.
They are 9th in the ACC in 3-point percentage.
But their numbers have been a little bit better in conference play. They've been shooting 50% from the floor in ACC play. Well, James is getting whatever she wants, man. She has been terrific.
Kiki Jefferson gets her first foul, and Aziaha James, who has hit 3 of her 4 threes, has 16 points. Coming up next Monday, the Cardinals highlight ACC Network's men's basketball doubleheader. First, Virginia takes on Pitt at 7 Eastern, and then follow it with Louisville welcoming in, or playing at Boston College, pardon me. That one will be up in Chestnut Hill. Good attack of the basket that time, but Louisville just struggling to score just 2 points in this quarter.
They're just not moving the ball. They're settling for either one pass or they're trying to attack off the bounce. And this is where a Louisville team that is 56% of their baskets have been assisted. They need to move the ball.
Possession arrow points in favor of Louisville. Trying to get it inside to Cochran, and the steal from one of the 3 freshmen who get a lot of playing time for Coach Moore, Lacey Steele, who then got fouled.
If you're going to make that pass, you got to wrap around, or you take one more dribble and improve that angle.
2 fouls now on Taylor.
I like what Olivia Cochran did, though. She went over to Taylor and said, come on, we got you, you know, let's go. And Taylor responded positively back. That's what you need to do right now if you're Louisville, to stay connected.
Cochran, the definite leader of this team. James goes in.
Come on, Pam. 20 points for Aziaha James.
Cochran trying to counter, maybe doing a little bit too much on her own. She does have 10 points. Fancy pass taken away. Jefferson tries to split the defenders, and she draws a whistle. But Aziaha James putting on a clinic here tonight.
I mean, she just does what she wants when she wants to. She has been fantastic. She's hit triples. She's been off the bounce. She's already been to the free throw line. She's got an incredible focus. You know, sometimes the pink brings that extra focus. I always think that teams this time of year, when it's the Play for K games, they play really well. And then we get to the postseason and conference tournaments, and they play really well. And then they go to another level when we get to the NCAA. I think that's the progression for teams in the NCAA on the women's side.
Kiki Jefferson at the line. Outstanding free throw shooter. He gets them both. NC State just overpowering so far here in this second quarter. Good save by Hayes. James, why not? And the save attempt, terrific effort, but ends up being all for naught.
Nyla Harris making the extra effort right here. And there were about 10 Wolfpack fans that helped her back up to her feet. She goes toppling over the stands. Good catch over there.
Yeah, after some of them were pointing at the sideline to make sure that Joe Vasily got the call right. She's out of bounds, then we'll help her. Certainly some great fans here. Baldwin zips it over, gets it back, pops, left it short.
River was telling us today she doesn't quite have her lift yet.
Takes a while to come back from that ankle injury. to be careful with her minutes in practice, and Baldwin's going to get called for the blocking foul.
You know, she's a tremendous weak side helper, but on the ball right there, Olivia Cochran with a quick first step to the baseline. Look at the spin right here. Gets right inside. Ooh, that was a tough one. But you know what? Neither one of these teams has tremendous shot blockers that protect the rim. They're very good at rotating defensively. NC State's been better at it here in the first half than Louisville has.
Louisville second to the last, second fewest blocks per game in the league. Good double. Around the horn.
There's an extra side, Pam, and a wide open look. Now you got to make it.
Curry unable to get it down.
With the NC State backcourt so athletic.
That was one of the major concerns for Jeff Walz. Really likes their guards and knows how dangerous they are. He's seen it firsthand tonight. Louisville has missed 9 of its 10 shots in this quarter. Take that away. It's a travel. Nightmare of a second quarter for Louisville, who are only down 6 going into the second. Baldwin gets a break.
This is a really important 240 right here for Louisville. They got to get a couple of stops and a couple of scores. If they can do that, they can get right back in it for some momentum and get back in the game.
James across court. Steal. Off a little bit to the right, and then a foul on James trying to get a steal.
NC State foul, number 10, Aziaha James.
First foul on Aziaha James, and that's some pretty good company right there. Tara Vanderveer, congratulations. Now past Coach K for the most wins ever in men's or women's basketball. Gino 7 behind. Lisa Bluter, portfolio over at Little Rock and Westmore. Who spent 15 years at Tennessee Chattanooga, very successful years.
All the other coaches have most of their wins at the same school. Tara has wins from Idaho and Ohio State, as well as Stanford. Gino, all of those at UConn. Bluter, some at Drake, some at Iowa. All in the state of Iowa for Lisa Bluter.
Lisa, who is a native of Marion, Iowa.
Have we gone this deep into the game and we haven't brought up Caitlin Clark? We're going to talk about Lisa Bluter. I mean, doesn't Caitlin Clark come before Lisa Bluter?
Caitlin's helped her have some wins, that's for sure. That's Mallory Collier, another freshman. And then a steal. Wow.
My goodness.
For the Pack right now.
Wow. They are putting it on. Coach Walz has already called 2 timeouts.
Contact out on the perimeter. Second on James.
Heads up play by Zoe Brooks. There's the score inside, and then just a casual play by Cochran to turn it over. Zoe Brooks heads up.
1 minute to go in the half. Cochran got it out. And finally, Cochran is able to put one home.
I mean, she's had the most success in the first half.
By far, she's got 12 of their points.
It's a 2-for-1 opportunity if NC State went quick, but you know what? They've had so much success running their stuff.
James passed up the 3 for the short jumper. About a half-second difference between the clocks. Quick shot. Ricards. Spent her first 5 years at the University of Florida. Knocked it down. And now NC State can indeed use up the rest of the clock. Zoe Brooks, terrific off the bench tonight. Kick it out, Madison Hayes. With the miss, but a second quarter avalanche by NC State. They scored 47 points. That is the most given up in any half this season for a Louisville team that's only come back to win that game, and they are in quite a hole here as we get going. Play for K in honor of the late, great former head coach here at State. Bring awareness to breast cancer and women's cancers. James trying to go behind the back. And that misfired.
Okay, now, Westmore is not going to be pleased with that because you can't play to the scoreboard if you're NC State. And neither can Louisville. It's opposite attitudes here, right? You got to stick to the game plan and not just try to take a risk on something. Both coaches start with horns to start the second half. It's when you have two posts on the elbows and you have shooters in the corner.
Taylor driving on Baldwin, who cut her off nicely and almost forced another turnover. Cochran got it inside, and there's the hands of who else? Aziaha James.
I mean, she's just everywhere right now, and she's active, and she's got heads up, and that's a great feed inside to Collins.
Yeah, should have been an assist, but Collins missed. And then on her second attempt, got fouled.
Here's the things that Jeff Walls probably said to his team at halftime, okay? You guys want to do it your way? Okay. We're down 17. We're going to do it my way. We're going to come back in the second half. They're getting beat down the court. They're not connected on defense. They need to communicate. And he knows how to put a team together and win. So I would suggest that they listen to exactly what he said. And he gave us the game plan today. He told us exactly what his team needed to do to win, and I don't think they've done it.
Sorry about that. Collins 1 out of 2 at the line. Her numbers well up from last year. Not a lot expected for NC State. Picked 8th in the league, and here they are right near the top.
Number 3 in the country. I mean, it's a tremendous coaching job by Westmore.
The Cards. Getting it over to Harris. Little fadeaway, and Rivers showing her great athleticism, able to go way up to get it.
And NC State's team speed down the floor is faster than Louisville right now. And they've got to do a better job of putting some pressure on the ball, slowing down the progression of the ball up the court.
Cochran got lost underneath there for a spell, but then missed the layup. James got fouled by Cochran. This is the second one on Olivia. So there's the latest AP poll that came out today. NC State all the way up to 3rd, and remarkable, they were unranked at the beginning of the season, and by the time December hit, they were in the top 10.
Well, that's because they had wins over Colorado and UConn, which vaulted them quickly into the top 10. And when you looked at that poll right there, right now, Charlie Cream has them as a 1 seed.
Number 3 overall. He has Louisville right now as a 3 seed.
And look, Wes has had success. He's won 3 ACC tournament titles. He's won the regular season in the ACC. He's been to the Elite 8. Lost in overtime on the road at UConn in Bridgeport when UConn was a 2 and NC State was a 1.
Good defense. Baldwin and Collins forcing it back their way. So Charlie Cream also had a brand new bracketology come out today, and it's all over the ACC. And you mentioned this earlier. All these teams are in. No bubble. They're in, according to Charlie.
Seeded. Not on the bubble, last 4 in. You know, there's 9 teams here. That's how good the league has been. And, you know, there's several teams that are still on the host bubble right there for the ACC.
Taylor gets a tough bucket. Sydney Taylor, the grad transfer from UMass, now has 5.
If Louisville can get 3 stops in a row, 3 scores, and speed up the game a little bit with their pace on both sides of the ball, they can get right back in this. All you're trying to do is cut it in half, Pam, by the 4th quarter.
You saw great pace and success for them in the early portion of this game, but second quarter belonged to State. Olivia Cochran, great run to the rim.
Besides that being a telegraphed pass to the interior, it was the wrong angle. You have to be a better post-entry passer.
Madison Hayes.
In transition, Louisville is just not matching up.
State continues to be hot from three-point range.
And Madison Hayes goes under that screen.
And the finish underneath for Harris.
And see, that's why you want to move the ball. If you come down and go one pass and drive, the defense is loaded up to one side. If you reverse it, skip sides, make an additional pass, you get the defense in rotation.
Baldwin took an extra step. Louisville has been down by as much as 21, trying to get back in this thing.
And this is a tough angle. Good collapse by Louisville, and Olivia Cochran out ahead of the ball. You've moved the ball, you get rotation, and you stay active moving without the ball. That's how that bucket scores.
And Cochran really doing a great job this year. They lost a lot from last year. Morgan Jones, Liz Dixon, Haley Van Lith going to LSU, and Mikasa Robinson, who was such a glue player and a great defensive player, now a grad assistant for Jeff Walls. So a lot of roles, a lot of things to fill.
Really good defensive effort by NC State. The clear out by Louisville, the help, the recover, and the box out. And then keep in mind, the back of NC State's jerseys all have words of encouragement and inspiration, not their names.
Rivers got back, and that made Harris back away. Yes, in this play for K-Day. Harris showing you some of her skill set. Came in rather raw offensively, a good defender, has certainly worked hard to polish that part of her game, and now averaging 10 points per game. The lead is 13, and boy, Westmore is about to bust a gut over there. Not happy with this run put together by Louisville. Timeout in Raleigh. K Down Cancer Fund and this Play for K packed house. 34 years she graced the sidelines, 4 ACC tournament titles, got them to 1 Final Four, and yes, won an Olympic gold medal as a head coach for the U.S. as well.
She was a remarkable person, an incredible teacher, cared about her players as people first, players second, loved the profession and all the coaches in it. We never heard anyone say a derogatory word about her. She had a lot of friends. She's got a great family. And then she has this incredible legacy through her former players and through the fund. People will maybe not know about her legacy as a basketball coach, but they certainly are aware of the Play for K games and the power of pink. I can't believe it's been 19 years since this game was created here.
Kiki Jefferson with another bucket. NC State has 5 turnovers in this quarter. That was in the first 5 minutes.
And they only had 4 turnovers in the whole first half. So they've gotten sloppy. They got to tighten it up.
Collins finished. Harris tried to buy the charge call. Curry saw a little bit of daylight, but then Collins came over and shut it down. Billy Brooks with the defense, and the ball heads back over to State.
So Louisville's put a little game pressure on NC State. So now you got to tighten up. You could have called a flop there. I always think it's a professional courtesy by the officials not to call it. The second time they do it, they will call it. But that was a pretty good step-through move by Mimi Collins.
Brooks unable to finish. Now Cochran brings the ball up all by herself.
Watch out when Big O gets motoring now.
She can go. Curry. She's done a really good job of attacking the basket here.
And NC State's lost some of their focus, right? And Westmore's trying to get it out of him right now. He has been very animated on the sideline over there in the second half. He knows Jeff Walls was going to adjust and his team was going to come out and play better in the second half.
Ball's one of the very best at making adjustments, and Coach Moore talked about how he always has tricks up his sleeve. You never know what he's going to pull. Mimi Collins just called for her third personal foul, and that sends Jada Curry to the line, where she's just scored her first point.
I think there's three really important pieces to coaching. One is recruiting. The other is developing talent. The other is playing and making adjustments in game. Both these coaches are excellent at all three. Can't say that about everybody.
Yes. Well, a 21-point deficit has been sliced to 11. It was a 17-point lead at the half. Rivers hit.
You know, this is where Sanaya Rivers' game has matured. And I say that because she doesn't need to score to impact the game. I think she's the defensive player, along with Hannah Hidalgo, in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. And she has an impact on the right side of the box score, meaning rebounds, assists, steals. And she's not a natural point guard. Last year, she got thrust into it at the end of the season. And then she had all summer to get ready. Now, Wes Moore will tell you he'd like for her assist-turnover ratio to be a little bit better, but otherwise, having her size on the top of the floor and her quickness has a lot to do with NC State's success.
Well, she still is 6th in the ACC in assist-to-turnover ratio, but thrown into the fire last year, as you mentioned, and has become a better all-around basketball player this year. That last foul, by the way, was the third on Cochran, who just fumbled it away.
Collins. Transition threes, Pam. My goodness. When Jeff Walls goes back and clips that and shows his team how many triples they've given up in transition, it's not going to be a pretty sight.
Cochran isolated there against Collins. Taylor elevates. Cochran goes up strong and got fouled.
Look at Big O going to work.
Now number 21, Madison Hayes.
Mishandled by Cochran, but she doesn't get her head down, right? NC State in transition knocks down the triple. Hard to catch up on a live ball turnover. And then she has an incredible motor on this end of the floor as well.
Thursday night at 6 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Another women's basketball matchup between number 12 Notre Dame and the aforementioned Hannah Hidalgo and 15th ranked Louisville. Check that out Thursday, 6 Eastern on ESPN. Hidalgo, boy, this freshman class.
Oh my goodness, so good.
Ridiculous.
Oh, so good. I mean, must see. Juju Watkins is killing it out there at Southern Cal. Lindsay Gottlieb's done a heck of a job with that group. 51 against Stanford and Tara Vanderveer. I wonder how much film Tara must have watched before the game to prepare for Juju Watkins.
Rivers has it bounce out. Aziaha James, who had 20 points in the first half, is yet to score here in the third quarter. She will have a chance to hit free throws. James really came on strong in their last game, a win against Duke. 8 of her 10 points coming in the fourth quarter. Pitching against North Carolina, pardon me.
The strength of NC State is their balance. 6 different leading scorers, 5 different players have had a double-double. Wes Moore's never had a team that's done that. Zoe Brooks, the freshman, has had a triple-double. And they're a pretty connected group. They got really good chemistry.
And that's something that's just so important. And bounced out. Picked up by Curry. A couple of years at Cal. over in the Pac-12, soon to be in the ACC. Headed by Rivers. Tough shot off the glass. And
out of bounds on Hayes.
ball stays with 19 seconds to shoot. Jefferson able to slice into the lane.
I'm telling you, game pressure. You're making NC State hesitate. You're making them think. And you're scoring better if you're Louisville, so you're able to set your defense and you're not playing in transition.
You have to go in the third.
The other thing, too, Jeff Walz is taking all the full court pressure, quarter court pressure stuff off, Pam, because what that does sometimes, especially for a team like NC State, it opens up the court where they can see lanes and they use their speed and athleticism. If you get back and set your D, you're forcing them to execute in the quarter court. And that's what you want against NC State.
Curry. And fade away and nailed it. Jada Curry.
Well, this is the closest this game has been in a while, and NC State will have the last possession here. And here comes the full court pressure again.
NC State scoring just 12 points so far in this quarter.
You got to go.
It's Brooks, the freshman, front rim, and an opportunity. Curry just off the back of the rim. But Louisville slicing in to the lead.
Watch this take right here. A little bump and a great finish. Louisville is creeping back in. It's a 10-point game. Go right here, UConn, South Carolina. It's a big rivalry. We've been waiting for this one.
Yep, you get to see Paige Beckers in that one. That is coming up Sunday at 2 Eastern Time on ESPN and on the app. South Carolina still unbeaten. And the UConn going to go down there. That's another place you can't get a ticket.
No ticket.
South Carolina.
No. I mean,
well, you can, but you got to.
Well, they've led the nation in attendance like 12 years in a row.
Amazing what Dawn Staley has done down there.
The product.
And Deb Antonelli, pardon me, joining you here as we start the fourth quarter.
The product is the narrative. That's why people buy a ticket to go watch, because that is a winning program that Dawn built from scratch.
Remember when she took that job and some people were like, why the heck is she taking that job? It's a bad job.
No, I knew why she took it.
And a couple of Maddies and just building a great program. And
when you are the quality of Dawn, and every little girl grew up with a poster on their wall, you knew you were going to build. And Asia Wilson was a turning point for South Carolina. When she committed, a local kid from Columbia, everything changed. It's like NC State, right? Westmore, like, look at this place. It's unbelievable. Tonight it's pink, but it's always full, and it's red on most nights. But the product was good, and then people bought tickets to come watch because the product was good. The product's got to be good first before you can have all the other things. Concessions, parking, marketing, all that. If you don't win and you don't have a good product, nobody wants to watch it. It doesn't matter what promotion you put on it.
Maddie Hayes called for the charge, and then when people come out, they see the product, and they keep on coming back.
Dawn Staley has a blueprint. Wes Moore has a blueprint. Jeff Walz has a blueprint. 8,000 fans a game at his place.
Job he has done, and they play in a KFC Yum Center, which is a beautiful facility. And you know what we got here is an 8-point ball game. Louisville, you're just joining us, down by 17 at the half, trailed by as many as 21. Largest halftime deficit they have faced since 2018. And here they are, only down by 8.
NC State's got to tighten up because it's a ball game now. What they were doing in the first half was moving the ball, playing in transition, and Louisville's taking a lot of that away. This has become a quarter court game, and there's another turnover.
Wow, an unforced turnover. Rivers has it go off her hands. 26-17 was the last time this game was in single digits. And that was back in the first quarter.
Olivia Cochran,
State continuing to not hold on to the ball here in the second half after they only gave it away 4 times in the first half. Curry with the miss. Rebound taken down by Madison Hayes, who's a tough customer. Started her career at Mississippi State, 3rd year here at NC State. Curry just picked up her first personal for the Cardinals.
Well, NC State has turned the ball over. They've let Louisville back in. Louisville's made adjustments offensively. They've done a better job of moving the ball. Because they've been able to score, they can set their defense. Now we got a 3-possession game.
Oh, boy. Aziaha Rivers did everything right except finish. She is lightning quick. Big 3 attempt, rims out for Curry. Rebound, Aziaha James. Rivers looking for some help. James able to rescue, puts it up in it. James with 23. She had 20 at the break.
I think she took off her headband, and now she's balling.
Whatever she's doing, it's working. And now Reynolds Coliseum gets really loud. Hayes with another rebound.
NC State trying to pick up the pace, right? Cross-court pass in transition. James, she's such a cool customer, right?
It moves like a soccer slide there.
Harris knocked her over.
Caught the bucket, but she stuck the landers.
Yeah,
very good.
Picked her back up.
Baldwin, short. James from long distance. Cut out. Oh, wow, what a great play.
Saved a layup.
Absolutely did James. That won't be on the stat sheet, but you're right. That saved 2 points.
She's got fight on the back of her jersey, does James, and that's what she's done tonight. She brought the fight to Louisville.
Curry challenges Baldwin, and it's a charge.
This is what River Baldwin does. Remember, the restricted area doesn't matter in the women's game. That arc on the floor doesn't count. Now, was she there when she left her feet? Got to establish legal guarding position.
That's something that Baldwin does really well along with James. They charges drawn at State. Baldwin is behind James only in that category on her team.
Good D.
And that's a foul as Kiki Jefferson came down full speed. James has picked up her 3rd.
What a swing of emotion right here. And Louisville needs to make their free throws. They've had some games this year, especially on the road at North Carolina, where they didn't shoot free throws well at the end. Jeff Walls is probably going to bring some full court pressure here after these made free throws.
And Jefferson shooting into the student section. And she is the best free throw shooter in the ACC percentage-wise this season. Seemingly unfazed. Sun Belt Player of the Year last year with James Madison, also the tournament MVP in the Sun Belt. Calmly gets them both and takes a seat.
It's a good substitution to set your defense, get the right personnel on. For defensive possession, here comes a trap.
James. And the freshman Brooks.
So the key there is moving the ball quickly out of the trap and then attacking with numbers on the backside. This is why it's tough to press NC State. I think they are really good in the open floor. And when you open up the court, you bring two to the ball, and they move it quickly, they get numbers on the backside and attack.
So Zoe Brooks at the line, and observant fans will notice that for the second straight game, she's not wearing goggles. She finally got fit for contact lenses.
Working on it.
In the first seven games, no goggles, no contacts. Wears glasses off the court, and now she's going with the contacts.
Oh, good cut.
Curry, foul.
It's a really good backdoor cut. A nice give and go. Watch this right here. Zoe Brooks jumps to the ball, but Curry gets a big step on her. You got to have some help from the weak side on that drive down the lane.
The reaction from the fans, because they just showed the replay up on the big screen. Brooks takes a seat. Now Curry at the line. 72% on the season. Only 5 points for Jada, who averages just under 10 points, around 9 points a game. Did not score at all in the first half. And the lead is 6. And with that, set up some pressure. Now they back off.
See, this time Jeff Walls changes, removes the trap, goes full court man-to-man.
Card's got a hand on it, but Aziaha James was there to pick it up and bury it.
I think she wants the ball in the big moments. You think?
And it's working out. She's got 25 tonight. Contact. Curry frustrated that no foul was called. As we approach 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Curry's taking a lot of shots here.
Rivers almost dribbled into trouble. Shot from the corner, short. Rebound. Ends up in the hands of Harris. Now Curry this time does not pull the trigger. Taylor, he stepped through but couldn't get it to fall. Cochran. A timeout granted to Louisville.
Susan Yao with a statue. The tunnel of love by the former players. The pep band in the student section. And a 37-year cancer survivor. What a night.
You know, Coach K, retirement.
With the WBCA and the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Donate at kyao.com.
Anything you can do will matter. It will save someone's life. It might save the person that you're watching this game with. Early detection, quality of life, all those things important to KL.
Cochran too much on the shot. Curry has continued to fire away. She is now 1 of 13 from the floor and has missed all 5 of her three-point attempts. Louisville has only hit 1 3 all night as a team.
Well, as a team, they only make 5 a game, so it's not a big part of their scoring. I think they could have made some better choices or different choices.
11 as a team, and then that is buried. Hayes.
NC State's got 9 as a team.
Big 3. All of a sudden, it's back to an 11-point lead after Louisville had cut it to 6. Can they answer? Yes, finally. Curry gets one to go.
It's not always how many you make. It can be when you make them. And Curry has not lost her confidence, that's for sure.
On the season, hitting 42% from distance. But a different story tonight. Steal. And the finish for Nina Ricards, the Florida transfer.
I mean, that's sloppy exchange by NC State, and Ricards with her quickness. Playing a little bit smaller in the backcourt for Jeff Walls.
Relatively quick shot by James. And a timeout with 2:53 left to go. Cardinals getting closer.
Hayes, the 9th triple. And then the quick hands of Ricards.
A special night at Reynolds Coliseum, and the checks rolling in for the Play for K game and the KYAL Foundation.
It's a special night. The power of pink, Bojangles and their Bowberry biscuit, and then the referees, the former players called ambassadors for K, and then Boo Corrigan and Jenny Palmatier, the CEO of the KYAL Cancer Fund. $538,000 and $5
and 86 cents.
And 86 cents
to cap it all off.
Over $500,000 tonight in Reynolds Coliseum on KYAL Court.
A very special night, and NC State right now nursing a 6-point lead. Aziaha James has done it all night long. Seems just when Louisville gets close, boom.
What a great ATO by Wes Moore. Who you trust the most? And the crowd's starting to come back alive here.
James with 28, steals it.
Got numbers.
Yep. Cochran doing just enough to be disruptive.
What a great job by Olivia Cochran.
She's really hustling.
She has played
long.
Yeah, she's tough now. She's my Mikasa Robinson now.
Mikasa was amazing. And Cochran hoping to take over that leadership role. Rivers gets fouled.
Mikasa Robinson, a great player for Jeff Walls on his staff now. It's a great take by Rivers to draw a foul and get to the line.
The Cards picked up the foul. And now Rivers at the line. There's Mikasa.
There she is, one of the great defenders and right side of the box score players in the history of Louisville basketball.
I want to give her a happy birthday wish. She will be turning 24 in about 3 hours.
All she did was win at Louisville.
Yep. And was a player who didn't get a lot of playing time, did not transfer, stuck it out, and now she's a grad assistant. Would like to go into more of the strength and conditioning portion, but just the consummate teammate and just a heck of a defender. Good kid. State gets that lead back up to 11. Cantor has a foul on the perimeter. Excuse me, underneath on Baldwin, who is baffled. That's 3 on River.
If you use your chest and not push off with your arms, then you're walling up.
Baldwin still trying to get back into a groove after coming back from missing games with an ankle injury. The numbers are well down from before the injury.
They're going to review this inside 2 minutes.
River Baldwin's parents are here. Talked to them before the game from Andalusia, Alabama. And Dad came back and fixed up River's car and brought it back to her. Drove 10 hours to, to deliver it back. That's a good dad.
There's not a better personality than River. I mean, she's incredible. She's really battled through this injury. She had some back issues at the beginning of the year, but she's a big part of what they do at 6'5". And she doesn't have foul trouble, so she needs to stay aggressive. Pete Cantor's got the call on the floor is Louisville or NC State ball, and they're going to look at it inside 2 minutes. So this is serving as a timeout for both teams.
Aziaha James really coming alive here in the fourth quarter. She has 9 points. She had 20 in the first half, just 1 point in the third. And some big buckets here after Louisville made it a close game.
And keep in mind, neither team has a foul to give. NC State has all 4 timeouts remaining. Louisville with 1. Possession arrow belongs to the Cardinals. They're going to reverse the call, Pam, and it's going to go the other way. So 20 seconds stays on the shot clock because they're going to determine it was not a change of possession.
Meaning that it was off of James. So Curry inbounds. 20 seconds to shoot, just 1:37 left in the game. Near shot, they get it, and they get the three. Sydney Taylor knocks it down.
And look at the sense of urgency with which Louisville accelerated through that action. Now they got to get a stop. This is where NC State and execution has to be critical. You cannot have game slippage right now. Can't turn it over. You got to make the right players taking the right shots.
But it's there. Cochran, another big play, calling for the ball. But instead, it was held on to by Ricards, who drew a foul.
Watch the ball movement by Louisville right here on a sideline out of bounds play. This is excellent execution. The drive, the help, and then Sydney Taylor. And then on the other end, that's a foul on Nia Rivers.
It's the third on Rivers. And now Ricards at the line. He's done a really good job at the free throw line tonight to stay close.
NC State's got to cut hard here to get the ball inbounds. Louisville can't get beat over the top. Or there's an offensive rebound by Olivia Cochran. Who else would come up with a hustle play?
He has had a tremendous game. Big rebound for River.
Now, River Baldwin rebounded that like she meant it. 2 hands in traffic.
And boy, Olivia Cochran has certainly given her all tonight. A double-double, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Getting her hands in passing lanes to force turnovers. Baldwin steps to the line. 86% on the season. NC State, the excitement's going to continue here at Reynolds Coliseum because Thursday night Virginia Tech comes to town. We will have that for you on the ACC network. A little revenge.
Big game.
In hand for State. That was their first loss of the season. They had won 14 in a row. And it was that perfect inbounds play, the Liz Kitley finish. So we look forward to that. And Louisville is in a tough stretch on their schedule. Cochran drew another one.
Really good isolation, and we started the game talking about that particular matchup and how River Baldwin was going to have her hands full with the quickness. It's a leverage right here. Look how Cochran plays the game low to high. It's a low man win situation right there. She gets her shoulders and her hip past River Baldwin, and Big O draws a foul and gets to the line. Chanting chicken in here because if she misses the next one,
they get chicken. And especially the student section, right? They want that chicken. Let's do that chicken. But Curry after the offensive rebound, hits the three.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds on missed free throws by NC State. Westmore calls timeout to advance the ball. We got a 6-point game again. Look at that rebound by Harris. And Curry, late in the game, has gotten hot from the three.
Curry, a very slow start in this game, but a good finish. She was shut out in their game against Syracuse. And off to a slow start here, but has hit some threes down the stretch. And there's your reset. No fouls to give. Louisville just one timeout. Possession arrow in favor of Louisville, but State has the ball, and as Deb said, they get to advance it.
Well, you got to be strong with the ball. You got to be able to cut hard right here. You know, Louisville's going to look to trap, and they're probably going to try to get a steal, and if not, they're going to foul right away. And for NC State, you know, on the floor right now, that's a pretty good free throw shooting group.
Rivers inbounds in front of the State bench.
Good for Sanaya Rivers to get it right back. There she is.
She does. Backs off a little bit. Clock is definitely on their side, daring Louisville to foul, and Westmore called a timeout.
They got 7 seconds to come off the clock. NC State just burns their second timeout. Same thing, right? You got to cut hard. You cannot jog through any set right now. It drives me nuts when players jog through their cuts. You should basket cut and exit cut, and you should sprint to the three-point line. When you come through the basket, go back out to the three-point line. And NC State's got to cut to the ball hard.
Olivia Cochran with a double-double tonight. But her team down by 6. Men's basketball will follow us as soon as we're finished. Time ticking away. Ricards finally fouls River Baldwin.
Just getting ready to say, do not put the ball over your head right now. You got to play the game low.
NC State today has not done a great job at the line. Just 13 of 20. That's 65%.
River Baldwin is an 86% free throw shooter.
She has hit both of her previous free throw attempts in this game just a little while ago. Louisville goes home to host Notre Dame, and they play Syracuse again.
NC State better find Curry, because you don't want to give up a three here.
No reason to foul.
Pitch 21.
Russell. Sanaya Rivers skies to get the rebound.
By the rim to get that board.
And very likely has put this game on ice. Jeff Wall's team, good job coming back, down by as many as 21. Trailed by 17 at the half, their largest deficit since 2018 at the half.
Well, they put some pressure on NC State, that's for sure. We like to call it game pressure when you make the other team hesitate, and execution has to be at a premium. And I thought NC State got a little loose in the second half. And Louisville put some pressure on them.
They got to within 6 points twice here in the fourth quarter, but NC State was able to respond. Now it's a 10-point advantage. And Aziaha James really got things off on the right foot. 20 in the first half.
She was fantastic. I mean, she made every play. To the rim, at the line, beyond the arc, in transition. She just had a great first half to lead NC State. She got them started quickly.
All right.
She can score. She leads the team in scoring. She came on at the end of last year, had a great offseason. She's put the work in.
4 threes today, 28 points for James.
On 18 field goal attempts. That's excellent.
Nice and efficient.
Well, it's a big battle right now. You got a logjam at the top of the ACC standings, right? Because Virginia Tech sits there with 2 losses. NC State's got 2 losses, and now Louisville will have 2. I said earlier, it's going to be 3 or 4 losses that the team that wins this league.
Still have 4 weeks to go in the regular season.
Great for the fans.
It's going to be a fantastic finish. And Louisville will join the 2-loss club. Their 2 losses in the league to North Carolina and in 19.3 seconds. Unless something crazy miraculous happens, it will be NC State. And with Virginia Tech coming into play state, and Notre Dame next for Louisville. Rims out for Jefferson, and now Louisville backs off. And on the play for K-Night, the NC State Wolfpack will come away with a 77-67 win, and there's the Mutual Respect Society right there meeting up. So NC State, 5th time they've beaten a top 25 team. For Deb Antonelli and our entire crew, I'm Pam Ward, inviting you to stay tuned for men's college basketball. Southern and